main point of what I want to talk about today, and that is don't forget the basics. So as I've had conversations with folks, and it's great as we see that people progress from first, we talked about this on Tuesday, you got to get contracted, okay? You got to get contracted and get your feet in the ground, put your roots in. So that's very, very important. And just looking at this business as a distribution system. I mean, you have products now, you have different products that you'll be able to offer, plans for everyone. I mean, that is what you get when you get involved with a healthcare solutions team. So, I mean, just kind of remember who we are and what we do, and we are right involved in the middle of the boom that's taking place in private health insurance. We could do all types of things, but again, initially, I'm trying to have this very focused so that you can start generating leads right away, start making money, put that cash flow in place so that really, if you look at a big picture, you'll evolve from kind of year one where I talk about just building your pipeline to year two where you can do more organic growth. So as you build the business. So that's really about building the business here. So a little quick review to kind of keep you focused here. And don't forget, we have this exploding market that we're part of. And I will tell you personally, one of the reasons I have been able to be, a strong producer is that I do work hard and I use this methodology, but I truly care. And I really just want to help people. And there's a lot of business out there. So you can get that combination of just having high production, making very good earnings for what you do while you help people. So it's just something that makes it enjoyable. So we're fortunate. And with the training here, I'm helping you go down the path of success versus failure by being able to give you some specific direction. So again, this methodology here is meant for brand new people to help you get started quickly making money. And that first year, you're focusing on the pipeline. You've got to break your goals down to smaller pieces. Focus on getting 5 warm leads a day. And if you can just focus on that, and then you'll be able to put those leads into the radius system. That's what we'll talk about today. This process. So I am talking to you about working remotely, working from home. Get yourself in a good setup. Remember, it's a filtering process. We're looking for consistency. Consistency. That's very, very important here. And then there's math to this. So keep those leads, just kind of go from a record to a warm lead to a prospect, and you build that funnel. And that's, again, I have years and years of experience, unfortunately, to be able to look at it this way, but it is a process that is repeatable, sustainable, and cost-effective. That is what we are all looking to accomplish here. And if you just follow this training and coaching, you will follow that path because that's where this path is going to lead to you. And again, back to basics here. I need for folks who are getting started with me to really get back to the basics because I have a lot of good content already on videos. And the very first video that I created for this one is it's a 13-minute video, but it talks about the key components to master to get started. So please watch those videos. But the 4 key components first are who are you targeting? That's a big decision. A lot of people have no clue, but I'm going to give you a clue. But what are you saying to them? I'm going to help you take that record into a warm lead. That's great. If you can learn to do that just repeatedly, you're gold. You're going to be a superstar in this business. But then using the right tools to be able to communicate with people, multi-channel. And they're out there. It's inexpensive to use these tools. I'll show you the records, but then how to manage your activity and records. So really focus on lead generation and performance and productivity. Keep those goals very kind of short-term and weekly production, daily production, getting leads. Just keep on building. You have to look at it that way. We talk about who you're targeting. I suggest really to go after the small business owner. I mean, you got to think of, I talk about making this a campaign. You got to think that way. You got to connect the dots. But right from the onset, you got to think about who am I targeting? So we help people who are getting health insurance on their own. So who is that? Well, that's going to be your small business owners, and there's millions of people out there. And I can show you how you can help target these folks as far as target them for their demographic or area or SIC codes. It's really easy to do, very inexpensive. These records I have ready for any of you. So that part is like zero cost to you to get these records. I'll work with you and do it very efficiently. Connect with me on Skype. You'll be able to do that. So just understand that. But then I'm going to teach you through methodology here to turn that call into a referral. And it's just the art. I mean, you're a sales professional. That's one of the things I love about this business is that if you really enjoy the whole profession of selling as an art, a very professional engagement to be able to do that, this is a great product because you found a product that can literally help people. But when you can take these records and turning them into warm leads through referrals, you're gold. And then using the right technology. So initially, get an account with salesdialers.com. That's my recommendation. That's going to help you get the lowest cost per lead to get started, get you in the right direction. And then Radius Bob and Mighty Text. Just get those components. I've got videos already out there about Radius detailed that go into getting statuses and tags, and it's very simple if you know what buttons to press on that. So we talk about your scripting, and I'll teach you just kind of the the art and the science of the business. So that's both of it. But I have a video out there about scripting that you should watch, and it's very important. And then again, there's components of it. Watch the videos on there, but you're gonna initially you need to create instant credibility and authority on that call, but then deliver the kind of your hook. What is it you're calling about? Do that very quickly and efficiently, clearly. Deliver a statement so that you stay in control and work through the script. Every call is different. But this here, I have a video out there about the scripting. It's right in there on the YouTube. Goes into detail about the scripting. It's a call flow. Understand it and prosper from it. And then as we get more involved, we can talk about the different objections and your time management, staying in the zone as you really master the art of selling as well. And it's a great profession as you can help more people. That's the beauty of it. So learn to create a filtering process that's consistent. Understand it so you are in control of your leads. People say, how about leads? How about leads? It's just a crazy question. Take control, and this is what I'll teach you so that you can create your own lead generation process. So first thing is get on Sales Dialers, okay? We've got a special promotion to $79 a month. You don't have to get any long-term contract. This is gold. Go to that link there. I've had this in other videos. Call me if you have any questions on it, but I have the link to $79, folks. And I can tell you if you have questions, go on the website. I've used the tool. I use the tool. It's just tremendous value. Puts you in a rocket ship versus a Volkswagen or a dune buggy, or some people just get in this business and they hand dial. Crazy, crazy. And they talk to 10 people a day and they wonder why they fail. So this is what this is going to help you not do. You'll be talking to people all day. So then you'll use Radius to help you. Radius is $35 a month. Come on. So I'll show you how to master it, put workflow into your daily routines. Very easy, and I can talk to you about that. Show you how to use Mighty Text if you're an Android user. It's great. If you're into texting, I'll show you how you can send out individual texts at a very good clip. Texting is important in general. For those of you who are on like a zero-string budget, right out of the gate, you can log into LeadMaster through HST. You can call free leads all day. I mean, bless your soul. If you want to go and call those age leads all day, you can. I try to kind of help you take it to a new level very quickly. But again, this is available to you as well. But you will need LeadMaster. LeadMaster is a great tool. I have to have it as well. So it's just an imperative. But as far as your lead generation, that is something here that the methodology will teach you. But you got to put it all together. Okay, you got to put it all together, all this, but really keep it simple. Mainly focus on lead generation and daily production. That's really what you got to focus on. And then stay plugged in with me on Skype. So I'm growing, and it's a great way to communicate with me, and it's a great tool. So please plug in with me if you want to get serious with me about this. That's going to be imperative. You'll hear me say that to you. My Skype ID is jim.martello1. And just please note that Martello is spelled with one L, very commonly misspelled. So right there you see that on the screen. And now as far as next steps, well, next steps is really putting this all in motion and really focusing on this as a lead generation process that works for you. It's just kind of getting your feet on the ground here so that you are ready, set, and go to make this really a repeatable and sustainable business for you. So with that said, number one, I've got a good crowd today, and I appreciate everybody coming on. So I am going to take off mute. So if you could please put your phones on mute. But then if you want to say something, I mean, it's not that many people. It's going to get crazy. But please, just open it up, and I'm taking off mute now. And I am here to help you in any way possible. All right, anybody here? I'm going to put my video on. So, all right, anybody? I know we got questions there, and I know Scott's on the call. So, Scott, you definitely got questions or comments.
I'll ask a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hear you great.
So, can you give us the link for the sales dialers again?
Yeah. You know what I can do is let's see here. Let me go. And yeah, I'll find it to you. Let me text it here. Where is it here?
Well, I'm doing it for the group. I'm just doing it for people who are.
Yeah, I mean, I got you. It's on. There is some video. So yeah, while we're doing that, I mean, that's administrative. I can take care of that. And I can even send an email. I'll send an email out to the whole group. Okay.
Sounds good.
Today.
Yep, that's good. That'll work.
That's handy because I'll tell you that's step one. Don't try to go to the Daytona 500 in a Volkswagen, right? You're going to make sure your car is tuned up.
Of course, you definitely have to have that going. Some people might be asking, I guess, is everybody aware that when it comes to licensing, what I've found is the licensing cost is really with United Healthcare. I haven't found it with anybody else.
No, that's right. That is exactly right. That was my biggest cost with United Healthcare. As I recall, I'm in 30 states. It might have cost me around 400 smackers.
Right.
Somewhere about that for the 30 states.
For the 30 states you were already in with an IPR. Right.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it was.
But people can start off with the 10 states or whatever.
Yeah, and you don't even have to select all the states with them. If, like, let's say you were licensed in 12, but you only wanted to kind of get started in 5 of the United Healthcare states, maybe the states that they now have tri-term. So they've released tri-term, like in Georgia and Florida. There's about 6 or 7 states now that have tri-term. It's a new product through United Healthcare, and it's pretty cool. It locks you in for 3 years, gives you $2 million of coverage. It does offer some wellness benefits. It's a pretty well-rounded program.
Okay, well, maybe put that in the email as well.
Right. Well, it's out there. I mean, that's all. Okay. All that stuff's out there. That's all part of the training. You don't want to get too ahead of yourself. But I mean, as you get contracted with these companies too, when you go on their sites, they've got their own training too. I mean, there's a lot of great resources available to you as you get linked up with these companies, and you got to take it in the direction that you feel most comfortable. I think that brings a good point, though, in that for me, I mean, I have wrote a lot of business, and I will tell you, I've kept it simple. 98% of my business has been through National General, the supplements, and United Healthcare. That's it. And I mean, we can do some art of that in the future, but as I explain health coverage to people, and there is kind of like I take them down a path, like, try to show them at this point you have these options, and then at this point you have these options, and it will come to a point where you can talk to them about limited medical and kind of like these term medical plans. And truly, sometimes you'll confuse people, but you usually are able to identify kind of like their like what they're really looking for. And through those two products and companies, you have really good limited medical and the kind of the term medical plans that give you the cap and the multi-million-dollar coverage, and you could put people on a plan that if they got cancer, they would actually make a few dollars on those bills. So I'm saying that's all the stuff that you have readily available to you just through the carrier package that I sent to you when you get invited to contracting. So, you know, just kind of follow that. You will be aimed to help so many people.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, that was, you know, we'll work on some more of that. And,
yeah.
And
so,
getting a licensing done.
Yeah. So let me ask, Scott, thank you for that. I know we've got like a few people I know who I've been talking to for a while now, like Dan Morris. Thank you for joining. Anything you know from your end, because you're pretty far in the contracting process now, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Any comments or something? Because I mean, you know, when I got started, I got through the contracting process really quickly. I was fortunate. But at times it does, like someone like Scott, he's not having necessarily problems, but he's been in the business a while, so he's got more tentacles out there of things to transition. But again, the first thing here is get contracted, get yourself set up for success, and then you can really then take it to the next phase.
Getting the E&O insurance was the last thing that I did, so now I'm able to get contracted with, you know, like United Healthcare, and that's what I'm working on now.
Great. Okay. Yeah, I tell you, personally, between these two products, the name recognition, you know, when I can either tell someone they're going to be in an Aetna PPO network, or if I tell them, you know, this product is plan is through United Healthcare, you know, one of the largest carriers in the country offering health coverage to over 30 million people. Number one, it sounds good, and number two, it feels good knowing that you can literally put people in these respectable, you know, companies that are that have great Moody's ratings and just have confidence, right, of where you're helping to put folks in. So those name recognition helps so much with these products, and they're really good products too. For the right people, of course, you know, for the right people. The folks that we are ideally targeting, who are people who are relatively healthy, right, no pre-existing conditions, folks who are making like over 50 a year, private business owners, people who don't belong on the marketplace, who don't have any clue as to what to do. Well, you have the ability now to come to the rescue and literally help them. And if you can just get yourself in a position where you can just literally have conversations with people. And that's what I'm trying to teach you to be able to do, is to have conversations with people. Because when you do, you are going to, and you understand these products, and maybe I'll do a thing on having you understand just the products. Could somebody put their phone on mute? I hear a nice little child who might be needing mommy or daddy. But you know, understand a little too. You got to get into the dance of the products, and just understand as you just have a general understanding of like no deductible, first dollar coverage, or you know, a deductible with co-insurance, and then how to help protect that exposure and things like that. So again, that's a different topic for a different call. But again, I will work with you on that to help you. Just to help you as you are talking to people to really pick up just the subtle little things that you might hear that indicates that this is a product that they're interested in, you know? Like when you hear somebody say, oh, I got this insurance and I pay all this money and it doesn't cover anything. You know, you hear that, right? And you're like, well, okay, what kind of insurance are you on? And they give you a good name. And you're like, well, what is that? Well, that's the deductible, right? So it's like, oh, you know, they don't understand the plan. No one's explained it to them. For starters, they can't appreciate what they have. But at the same time, I mean, you could really turn that into an opportunity, because there are limited medical, fixed benefits, zero deductible plans. Call them whatever you are, but explain it to them. That does give very good coverage for hospitalization, and I mean, these are good. You're not leaving them out there hanging. But you explain that there is no cap on it, and explain that that it pays directly towards the claim. But for some people who might just want to be on the plan for 5 months, that's a great plan for them. So, you know, you have that with limited medical, and learn how to sell limited medical. You're not, you know, you're not putting them in a bad plan. It could be the right plan for them just based on their situation, okay? So between the two, you have so many products depending on how they want their plans to be structured, and then they look at you as an advisor, not a salesperson. If you're truly trying to help them, you really want to be that advisor and explain it to them. You'll get a client for a long time. All right, enough yapping from me on that, but trying to just, I think that is important. I do have a video out there on my healthcare. If you go to, I have a healthcare savings advisory YouTube channel. That's the one that you're a part of in the playlist. It's all under that channel. But I do have a video there called Healthcare Options for 2019. I actually use that as far as a webinar for introducing myself, quite frankly. But there's a YouTube video. I would encourage you all to go and watch that. It's called Healthcare Options for 2019. It's on the YouTube channel. And it just, what it is, that's really just training that you would get through the welcome emails that I've sent you. I mean, but I took that training and I created a presentation from it. I do turn it into a little bit of a sales at the end of it, but in the beginning of that video, it's going to kind of show you how I explain it to people. So again, healthcare options for, I think it was health coverage options, healthcare options for 2019. It's on the YouTube channel. If you could, I would encourage you all to, if you're interested, go watch it. It's only like 8 minutes or something. All right, any other questions, comments? I mean, we've got a pretty good crowd now. I'm encouraged. I like that. I appreciate it. We could see some new names, and you know, let's get contracted. Get contracted. I got to get you there to that point, and then we can really get you going in the right direction. All right, questions or anybody? Anybody just, you know, if not, we can end it here. We're almost on 30 minutes.
I do have a question.
Sure. Hi.
The plans. Hi, that's Blanca. The plans that you're talking about are actually medically underwritten type of plans.
Actually, these plans, it's a simplified approval process. So I guess it's not underwritten right at the beginning. So that's where the simplified approval process comes in. I mean, it certainly could be taken advantage of deceptively. It does open it up to that in many ways. It's really great for the broker. I mean, to be able to write a lot of business. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're doing the right thing, right? So if somebody has cancer, you know, and they marked they didn't have cancer, and you know, when they check those MIBs, it's not going to get covered, right?
Right.
So I'm saying that's the way these are structured. More simplified approval with private health coverage. There could be something in the background. I have seen some applications with United Healthcare denied. I have seen that. You will see that sometimes. And even like I had a case with a client, their daughter out of the blue, you know, got denied, and the parents were like mystified. But they think they knew it was some kind of, you know, you never know what goes into a doctor's report, right? But in general, it's actually a very easy process to take that application. Let's just say the ratio of kind of issue to application is very high. Very high. That's a good thing. That's a good thing if you're a broker.
Basically, do you have like a underwriting guideline?
We can talk about that offline. You know, see where your question is and help you with that.
Okay.
But there are underwriting guidelines, definitely, absolutely. And there's even questions. There's questions that you're going to need to read and go through them before you submit the application. It's part of the application process.
Got it.
So I'm saying they really simplify for you with electronic application. So these are very simplified application process, but there is a process. I mean, there's questions that you need to ask that if they say the wrong, you know, if they're like diabetic, you know, these plans aren't for those people, but you have guaranteed issue plans that you could offer.
Okay.
So I mean, you literally will have plans for everyone, and you can do the right thing, helping people and fitting them into the plan that's best for them, because everybody's situation, right? I mean, some people struggle to get health coverage. They don't know where to turn to. Well, you are somebody they can turn to because you're going to have so many different plans for people. And just do the right thing, you know, do the right thing.
Always. Mm-hmm.
Somebody's asking if it's being recorded, and absolutely it is being recorded. And I'll put this on the YouTube channel as well. So, well, let me just kind of state, if there's any other questions here, we can continue. But I'm very optimistic of the participation, which means that people are progressing. I realize this is a very hard process. I do. And it's with that said that I've tried to kind of customize the videos and the training to help, because I'm saying I'm ambitious. I want to grow a big team and be able to help a lot of people, right? That's part of why we do what we do. And I do enjoy what I do, and reaching out with you as really like I'm here to help you all. I really am. So there's a lot of stuff that all deals with lead generation that I can definitely talk to you about over time, and would encourage, as you are doing, let's take this one step at a time, but still connect with me on Skype for one-on-one, and definitely I'm going to be here for you. And if you're committed to helping to, like I kind of say, build your $1 million health insurance agency, you got the right guy, because that's what I'm doing, and I enjoy it, and I really do sincerely want to connect with people who we can work with together. So thank you for being on this call, sincerely, and planning to have them every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 o'clock. But in between, I mean, I'm always available. So I look forward to continuing. Let's get contracted, let's get trained, let's start selling, and let's just take it step by step and help you grow your business. So I'm going to end the meeting here. Thank you again. This will be posted on YouTube. I'll make a notice. And again, I'll have this meeting again Tuesday next week at 3 o'clock Eastern. So thank you again, everybody. Have a great day. Okay. Bye-bye.